Scene script. Have you ever wondered how ancient civilizations made sense of the world around them? The answer lies in their myths. In the dawn of human history, when science was yet to unravel the mysteries of the universe, our ancestors looked to the heavens, the earth, and the vast seas, attempting to comprehend the cosmos and their place within it. It was from this primal curiosity and the need to understand that myths were born. Myths, the grand narratives of old, were far more than mere stories. They were the intellectual frameworks, the cultural DNA that ancient societies used to explain the unexplainable. Whether it was the sun's daily journey across the sky, the changing seasons, or the mysteries of life and death, myths offered answers. They painted vivid pictures of divine beings and epic heroes, wove tales of cosmic battles and heavenly love affairs, and proposed moral codes that guided everyday life. From the mighty Zeus of Greek mythology to the wise Ra of the Egyptians, from the fierce Thor of Norse legends to the disciplined Mars of the Romans, these mythological figures and their tales were not just stories, they were reflections of the societies that birthed them. They mirrored the fears, the hopes, the values, and the very identity of the people who told and retold them. Greek myths, with their pantheon of gods and goddesses, were rich tapestries of human drama and divine intervention, echoing the Greeks' deep philosophical inquiries. Roman mythology, often borrowing from the Greeks, reflected the Romans' reverence for order, discipline, and statecraft. Egyptian myths, with their intricate beliefs about the afterlife, mirrored the Egyptians' obsession with death and immortality, and Norse myths, with their tales of heroic struggles and inevitable doom, embodied the harsh realities of life in the freezing north. These myths, these ancient narratives, are not relics of a bygone age. They live on, echoing in our literature, our art, our architecture, and even in the names of our days and planets. They continue to shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. As we journey back in time, we'll discover how these myths shaped societies and continue to influence us today. Our journey begins in ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Here, in the rich, fertile plains between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the earliest known myths began to take form. Among these, the Epic of Gilgamesh, an epic poem from ancient Mesopotamia, stands out. Revered as one of the earliest works of great literature, it tells the story of Gilgamesh, a legendary ruler of Uruk, and his quest for immortality. Woven through its verses are profound reflections on human mortality, the fear of death, and the futile pursuit of eternal life. These themes resonate deeply with human experience, making the Epic of Gilgamesh a timeless tale of humanity's existential struggle. From these beginnings in Mesopotamia, mythology would grow and evolve, each new civilization adding its unique flavors to the rich tapestry of human storytelling. These early stories set the stage for the intricate mythologies that would follow. Moving forward in time, we enter the world of Greek and Roman gods. The pantheon of these civilizations was as diverse as it was intriguing, filled with gods and goddesses who ruled over various aspects of life and nature. Let's delve into some of their stories. In the heart of Greek mythology stands Zeus, the sky and thunder god who ruled as king of the gods on Mount Olympus. His story begins with a prophecy, a fearful father, and a mother's determination. His father, Cronus, swallowed his children to prevent a prophecy of being overthrown by one of them. But Zeus's mother, Rhea, saved him, and he eventually fulfilled the prophecy. His tale is one of ambition, cunning, and power. Greek mythology also brought us the story of Pandora, the first woman on Earth. Created by the gods as part of Zeus's plan to punish humanity, Pandora was gifted with curiosity. Despite being warned not to, she opened a jar, often depicted as a box, that unleashed all of the world's evils. But at the bottom of the jar, there was hope. This story, like many myths, was a lesson about human nature and morality. In Roman mythology, we find a pantheon heavily influenced by Greek myths. Their chief god, Jupiter, was a mirror of Zeus, and the tales told of him were much the same. But the Romans also had their unique tales. Take the story of Romulus and Remus, for instance, abandoned at birth, raised by a she-wolf, and eventually becoming the founders of Rome. Their story was a testament to the Roman values of perseverance and destiny. These myths, whether they were Greek or Roman, were not just stories. They were lessons, morals, and explanations of the world around them. They were tools for teaching, for preserving history, and for understanding the human condition. The Greek and Roman myths provided a rich tapestry of stories that continue to captivate us today. They are a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring fascination of humans with the divine, the extraordinary, and the unknown. Next, we journey to the banks of the Nile, where the ancient Egyptians crafted a unique mythology focused on the afterlife. In the heart of the desert, where the Nile River brings life, the ancient Egyptians spun tales of gods and goddesses, of creation and destruction, and of life after death. Their mythology was deeply intertwined with their daily lives and their beliefs about the journey of the soul after death. The story of Osiris and Isis is a cornerstone of Egyptian mythology. Osiris, the god of the afterlife, was cruelly murdered by his brother Seth, who coveted his throne. However, Isis, Osiris's wife and sister, undertook a perilous journey to find his scattered body parts and resurrect him. This story, full of passion and determination, symbolizes the triumph of good over evil and life over death. The afterlife held a central place in the Egyptian mythology. They believed that death was not an end but a transition to another realm. This belief spurred the Egyptians to invest in elaborate burial rituals and tombs like the famous pyramids to ensure a safe passage for the departed soul. The Egyptians also believed in a judgment after death, where the heart of the deceased was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was lighter, the soul would attain eternal bliss in the field of reeds, a heavenly paradise. But if the heart was heavier, it was devoured by Ammit, the devourer of the dead, resulting in the second death, the death of the soul. These myths were not just stories for the ancient Egyptians, they were their truths, their explanations for the mysteries of life and death. They painted a vivid picture of their worldview, their hopes, and their fears. The Egyptian myths offer a fascinating insight into their views on life, death, and the world beyond. They remind us of the power of stories to shape our understanding of the world and our place in it. And they continue to captivate us with their timeless tales of courage, love, and the eternal journey of the soul. Finally, we travel to the icy realms of Scandinavia, where the Norse gods reigned. A land etched in cold where tales of valor, treachery, and destiny unfolded in the shadow of the world tree Yggdrasil. Among the many stories that have been passed down through the ages, one stands out for its stark depiction of destruction and rebirth: the story of Ragnarok. This is not just a tale of an apocalypse, but a testament to the cyclical nature of time, as understood by the Norse. Ragnarok, translating to the doom of the gods, is a prophecy of a great battle that results in the death of many major figures, including the gods Odin, Thor, and Loki. The world is then consumed by fire and submerged in water. But in the Norse worldview, this is not an end, but a new beginning. From the sea, the world is reborn, fresh and new. The remaining gods and the children of the fallen ones meet on the rejuvenated earth, and the cycle of life continues. This cyclical perspective on time is a unique aspect of Norse mythology. Instead of a linear progression from creation to an end, time is seen as an ever-revolving wheel. Birth leads to death, which in turn leads to rebirth. Even the gods are not immune to this cycle. In the grand scheme of things, everything is temporary. The gods, the world, and all its creatures are part of a larger cycle destined to meet their end and be born anew. This cycle of destruction and creation, of endings and new beginnings, is a recurring theme in Norse mythology. The story of Ragnarok, then, is not just a tale of doom and gloom. It is a story of hope, of renewal, and of the resilience of life. It serves as a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, life finds a way to continue. The Norse myths remind us of the impermanence of everything, even the gods. From Mesopotamia to Scandinavia, ancient myths have left a lasting legacy. They've colored our understanding of the world, from the cradle of civilization in the Fertile Crescent to the pantheon of gods in Greece and Rome. These tales of gods, heroes, and monsters have permeated every facet of our culture. We learned of the Egyptian view of the afterlife, a complex journey of the soul that still resonates in our collective consciousness. The Norse myths, too, with their end-of-the-world scenarios, echo in our modern tales of apocalypse. These myths are not just antiquated stories, they're the foundation of our literature, our movies, even our thoughts. They've shaped our moral compass, our laws, and our societal norms. They've given us a shared language of symbols and archetypes, a common thread that weaves through all of humanity. As we've seen, these age-old tales aren't just stories, they're a window into how our ancestors saw the world and they continue to shape our world today.